5 years after a comet struck Earth, the world turned deadly.
The Clark comet destroyed 75% or more of the Earth. Even after 5 years, the planet had not recovered. Its debris still orbited the Earth and occasionally fell. The Giddy family survived the impact along with others, hiding in a bunker in Greenland. The people in the bunker try to rebuild the world, but the new reality has become chaotic. Radiation has burned many places, and sudden electromagnetic storms destroy everything in their path, forcing them to live underground. After 5 years, everyone has somehow managed to adapt to the new living conditions. Now, John Giddy works as an engineer and explorer. He is on a mission. While checking an area, he finds a new fissure opening and lava flowing. He heads toward the sea and finds some lifeboats and a destroyed cruise ship on the shore. He examines them, but they are all empty. He enters the ship in search of something useful. He receives a warning from the base that a storm is forming, but it will take some time to reach him. He is coughing a lot and removes his mask. He searches the ship and finds a flower inside a book. The base informs him that the storm is already upon him. He needs to leave immediately. He escapes from the ship and the storm is right behind him. He runs toward the base and asks them to open the door. They do so but cannot keep it open for long, as the radioactive storm will enter. He tells them to close it. He makes it and jumps through the closing door before the storm reaches him. His wife Allison has become a leader at the base. They are in a meeting where Adam, one of the leaders, informs that they are already low on supplies. He hopes they can try to plant outside next year. But Dr. Amina says it won't be possible. They need to leave the base in the air, as it is no longer sustainable, but Canada and the United States are destroyed. Iceland has also disappeared. Allison says she heard Western Europe is relatively safe, since there are fewer storms. But she is reminded that there is still radiation present. Even a small amount of radiation is harmful in the long term. Someone asks about the crater. Dr. Amina explains that the main part of the comet that fell in Western Europe formed a large crater. Along with her colleagues, she estimated that the mountains formed by it and the depth of the crater are keeping the radioactive winds at bay, making the place the best for new life to flourish. But the general says it is far from Greenland, and there are reports of fierce fighting occurring in Europe. After the meeting, John goes to meet with a psychiatrist. He asks how he is coping with the new way of life. John says he is now used to it. The doctor tells him to be open with his partner about everything. Suddenly, the bunker starts to tremble, but after a while it stops. The general says not to worry, as the bunker survived the impact of Clark. It can survive an earthquake too. Allison then asks about the distress signal they received. But Adam says they cannot accept.
Right away, this feels massive. A comet destroying 75% of Earth. That's insane scale. And I like that we're not in the impact moment. We're 5 years later, dealing with consequences. The bunker life in Greenland feels realistic, especially with radiation storms and limited supplies. That tension about whether to rescue more people already sets up moral conflict.
More people. It is already full, but Allison does not want to abandon them and requests that the decision be put to a vote. The majority votes in favor of the rescue. The general says he will send a rescue team tomorrow. Allison and John's son Nathan is attending school in the bunker. He has taken an interest in the stars. The teacher informs that part of the Samara comet is still trapped in Earth's gravitational field and has formed a ring around the planet. John is fixing the water plumbing system with a friend. They manage to fix the plumbing and are very happy about it. Allison and her son go to the community hall and find John. He gives her the flower he found on the ship. Allison is worried about his exploration mission, as he is exposing himself to radiation, but acknowledging his effort, she thanks him. They then talk to their son, and Allison informs that Nathan was seen outside. His father scolds him, saying it is not safe out there, but becomes irritated when he asks if he can go out. Allison says he is becoming just like his father, always going out even when it's not safe to enjoy the rest of the night. They go dance a little while. Nathan goes to his room to look at the stars. He made holes in his sheet, creating constellations. The next morning, a team sets out for the rescue mission. Leaders and military personnel are supervising the mission. They successfully rescue people and are returning to the base. John goes to his work and sees his worried friend. He notices a fissure forming in the wall. The rescue team asks for permission to go to a second location where more people are trapped. Adam says they cannot afford to take in more people, but Allison wants to discuss this, but suddenly they lose connection with the team. The bunker starts to shake violently, the power goes out, and the walls begin to crack. Everyone braces themselves to save each other while the place collapses. After the earthquake stops, John gets up with the help of his friend. First, he rushes toward his wife. He quickly supports her, and to their relief, she is fine. They then run to rescue their son. He is okay and already ready with his mask. They ask him to grab the essentials and also his insulin, as he is diabetic. John runs to grab some masks. Using the masks, they try to exit the bunker, but the exit is already full of people trying to escape. John leads them to another exit, but it has collapsed, though they manage to pass beneath the concrete. He opens the door, but it starts to shake. They run outside before it collapses on them. Outside, people are rushing toward the sea. They lose sight of their son for a few moments and find him helping Dr. Amina. They then head toward the sea. It is already full of people trying to enter the life.
The bunker collapse scene was chaotic in the best way. Everything just falls apart at once. Earthquake, power outage, panic, and the insulin detail for Nathan. That adds real stakes. The lifeboat escape and tsunami scene was intense too. It feels like this world never gives them a second to breathe.
Boats. They see some people trying to steal Adam's mask. They quickly go to help him. In the midst of the confusion, someone steals John's mask. They manage to escape from there and see an open lifeboat. Hastily, they enter. They close the door as it is full, despite people still trying to get in. The pilot then starts to drive the boat away from the shore. Suddenly, a large wave is spotted approaching, and they prepare for impact. The tsunami sweeps away the people on the shore, but they manage to survive the wave in their boat. Now they need to decide where to go. They have only a week's worth of supplies, so they decide to head toward England. John realizes that the radiation is low, so they can take off their masks. Days pass and the boat starts experiencing problems. But John, being an engineer, fixes the boat. When night falls, Nathan enjoys watching the night sky. They can see the debris from the comet still trapped in Earth's orbit. Nathan shows his father the stars he learned about in school. Suddenly, a meteor falls from the sky. They wonder where it will land. The next morning, the boat stops again, and the pilot informs them they are out of fuel. They are now at the mercy of the current. Days pass, and everyone is getting restless. Soon, their boat hits something. They get out and see an underwater structure. John says he recognizes the place. It is Liverpool. Half of the city is submerged. They row the boat towards the ground. They get out of the boat and need to find shelter soon. They see people around and follow them. They find a rescue bunker. People are trying to enter, but the military is guarding the entrance. They go to the gate and inform that they are from the bunker in Greenland and seek refuge. They ask to see their identifications, but only Allison has hers, while the others have lost theirs. But the soldiers do not allow them to enter without identifications. Many people behind them try to enter. Seeing the chaos, the soldiers shoot Adam and fire more to close the door. In the midst of the confusion, they become separated from the group. A radioactive storm is approaching. John tells Amina they need to leave soon, for Adam has already left. The four then stop a car and ask for a ride, and the driver asks for his watch in exchange, which John hands over. They escape the radioactive storm. Dr. Amina asks if the world is the same everywhere. The driver replies that now the world is a dangerous place. People won't hesitate to kill to survive. These storms come out of nowhere and kill everyone in their path. They decide to head to London, where Allison's friend Mackenzie lives. They talked 8 to 10 months earlier, and she seems to have everything to survive.
Liverpool underwater is such a crazy visual, and the bunker rejection scene, that was brutal. Shooting Adam like that shows how survival has changed. People, the meteor shower killing the driver right after he ignored the warning. That moment was cold. This movie really shows that greed and attachment can cost you everything.
Nathan asks Dr. Amina if she believes the crater is real. She thinks it is. It is the same from the dinosaur extinction event, where they were exterminated by an asteroid, but new lives emerged from the destruction. Without it, they wouldn't be there. The driver pauses. They are only half an hour from London. John starts a conversation with the driver. He tells him the crater seems good, but it's just a fairy tale. Nathan approaches his father, and suddenly they feel the ground shaking. He shouts for everyone to hold on to something. He grabs Nathan and holds onto a tree. Countless meteors fall above them. They hold on tightly as everything calms down a bit. John sees the driver running toward the car. He warns him not to go, as a meteor is still falling. The driver says the car is everything and heads toward it. He is immediately struck by meteor debris. Once the meteor shower stops, they get out, grab their things from the car, and walk toward London. They arrive at Mackenzie's house where she is ready with her gun. But upon seeing them, she is very happy. She welcomes them inside. The place is full of Alzheimer's patients. She says they have no idea about the meteor and tries to keep them happy, and that is her life now. They enjoy the night, and John asks her about the crater, and she says she's only heard rumors. They hear distant gunfire, but Mackenzie says not to worry, as London is safe. She has made the place as secure as possible. At night, while sleeping, Allison hears John coughing a lot and goes to check. She is shocked to see him coughing up blood. He then reveals that working as an explorer in radioactive air has affected him. In fact, he only has 6 weeks to live. He doesn't want them to worry about it. Allison says this is a hospital and they can treat him, but he doesn't want to die there. They must go to the crater. He wants to spend his last days helping them find a safe place. He wants to give their son a better life. The next day they prepare to leave. Mackenzie has given them a car and some supplies. She gives them a gun for defense and urges them to leave soon. From there, they need a boat to cross the English Channel. As it will be a long car ride, they begin to play some games to pass the time. Suddenly, Amina is shot. Someone is shooting at them to steal the car. They get out and John grabs the gun, shooting back. One tries to attack from behind, but John takes him down. He runs out of ammunition and a guy is approaching, so Allison shoots with the dead man's gun. They then check Nathan, who is fine, but Amina is gone. They bury her in the ground. John says a few words to give her a proper burial. Nathan asks why they pray for the dead. John says it is luck for the afterlife. After driving for a few more hours, they arrive at the English Channel.
John coughing blood. Yeah, that hit hard. When he reveals he only has 6 weeks left, the whole journey changes. It's not just about survival anymore. It's about legacy. The English Channel being completely dried up was wild, and that bridge crossing scene, super stressful. I was holding my breath the whole time.
But are shocked to see that the entire sea has disappeared. It is solid land from Great Britain to France. On the positive side, they don't need to leave the car. Then they drive toward France. After a few hours of driving, they see all the cars stopped in front of them due to a large canyon ahead. They get out of the car and head to the front. Survivors have made a bridge to cross the canyon. They reach the front of the bridge, but Nathan is afraid to cross. John urges him to be brave. They start crossing the narrow bridge. It is very windy and scary. Suddenly, a gust of wind comes, but they manage to hold on somehow. They manage to cross the bridge and reach the central platform, but they still have to cross a few more. Suddenly, the ground begins to shake. They need to cross as quickly as possible. They crawl over a ladder bridge to cross. When they are in the middle, another earthquake occurs, but they hold on tight. The rope bridge breaks, and many people fall. The ladder of the bridge is also shaking. A man tries to run back, but the path is blocked. Seeing the bridge about to collapse, he jumps to their bridge, hitting Nathan. Nathan grabs the ladder, and John helps his son back, as the platform is collapsing. They hurry and manage to reach the other side. The entire structure collapses into the canyon. They walk toward France. They cannot say whether they have arrived in France or not, as everything is destroyed. Suddenly, a man points a gun at them. John introduces himself and says they mean no harm. They just want to go to the crater. The man lowers his weapon and shakes their hands, then asks them to follow him. He leads them to an abandoned mill in Kalala. He has made this place his home and also uses solar energy for electricity. They filter the radioactive air as much as they can. He introduces them to his wife and daughter, Camilla. His wife is paralyzed and cannot speak, a result of the radioactive air. They then share a meal. The man asks why they want to go to the crater. John says they have heard it is the promised land, the last hope of humanity. He states that the place is very dangerous. The Western Alliance, with the remnants of the French army, defends the area against the Eastern Alliance, which wants to take the crater's resources. The whole place is an impossible war zone to cross. At night, Camilla shows Nathan her room, and he shows her his blanket, where he drew the stars. Allison asks John what his father told him privately when they were leaving for the bunker. He reveals that he made him promise to protect her and Nathan. The next morning, the Frenchman gives them a map and explains how to avoid the war. It will be difficult, but upon reaching the base of the Western Alliance, John must ask.
The war around the crater adds another layer to this story. Even after the world ends, humans are still fighting over resources. That abandoned mill scene was emotional, especially the paralyzed wife and the father asking them to take his daughter. It shows how everyone is sacrificing something for the next generation.
For Commander Jennett and show him the photo. He and Jennett were friends. He will help them get to the crater. Then he asks that they take his daughter with them. She should not be left there, as she also deserves a better life. Allison, overhearing the conversation, says they will take her to the crater safely. Camila sincerely says goodbye to her parents. They then depart for the crater. They take a break and play some family games when some soldiers spot them. The soldiers are from the Western Alliance. In French, they inform them that the place is restricted to civilians. While the others are confused, Camila in French tells the soldiers that they are looking for Commander Jennett, who is a friend of her father's, and promises to take them to the crater. They say it is impossible to pass. John then asks for help. At night, a soldier guides them through the war zone. The Western Alliance and the Eastern Alliance are fiercely fighting for the crater. The soldier tells them to keep low. They manage to reach the bunker excavated by the Western Alliance. After passing countless bodies, the soldiers take them to a truck and leave them at a base camp where Commander Jennett is. Camila says those mountains are new. This means the crater is just behind them. They see that many civilians are waiting to go to the crater. John speaks to the person in charge. He asks about Commander Jennett, showing the photo. The soldier shows him Commander Jennett's body. They ask for direction to the crater. He says they cannot help them and orders them to leave. But John pleads with the soldiers, saying he is a dying man and just wants to take his family to the crater. The soldier tells his subordinate to make space for them on the bus. They get on the bus and finally depart for the crater. During the journey, their bus is attacked by bandits. They take down the guards. When the driver tries to escape, they shoot him. They tell the people on the bus to get out. Now it is their bus. Everyone is forced to exit. John tells the others to move ahead. After everyone is out, John attacks the bandit. His friend tries to help, but the others take him down. 2 shots are heard from the bus. John comes out alive, but injured, and they care for him. Everyone enters, and Allison drives the bus. After a while, the bus can't go any further, so they get down and decide to climb on foot. With the help of the others, John climbs the mountains. At the peak, they see the large impact crater, Clark. The place is exactly as they heard, with fertile land, fresh water, and a clear sky, free from radioactive air. Upon seeing the scene, John asks them to take a break, visibly happy to have made it that far. He then collapses on the ground and says he is at peace for having seen everyone arrive safely. Shortly after, John passes away. Nathan then recites the same phrase as a fitting farewell and takes on the responsibility of creating a new, better world, guided by kindness, compassion, and understanding.
I honestly think this film does a great job balancing large-scale disaster with personal emotion. The comet and global destruction create the backdrop, but the real story is about one family trying to secure a future. That focus makes everything feel grounded, even when the events are extreme. John Ark is the emotional core. Knowing he's dying changes every decision he makes. He's not trying to survive for himself. He's trying to make sure his wife and son have a chance. That makes the final climb to the crater so much more powerful. When he finally sees it and lets go, it feels tragic but meaningful. I also like how the film shows different versions of humanity. Some people become violent and selfish. Others, like Mackenzie, the French family, and even the soldier who helps them, still choose compassion. It makes the message clear. The world may be broken, but people still decide what kind of world comes next. And that ending with Nathan stepping forward, that's hopeful. The crater isn't just a safe place, it's a reset, a second chance. The movie closes on loss, but also on responsibility. And honestly, that mix of sadness and hope makes it land really well.